Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister for the Economy is also here with us, represented here by Dr. Armstrong Takang, MD CEO, Minister of Finance Incorporated. So I'd like to invite him to the microphone now. Dr. Armstrong.
Your Excellencies, and the Governor of Abia State, representatives of Honorable Ministers, the President of CIBN and the Chairman of Council, the Chairman of the Organizing Committee, all other protocols duly observed. Let me extend the apologies from my boss, the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, who would have wished to be here, given the critical nature of this gathering and being a key stakeholder of the sector. But because of other commitments of states, he is not able to make it, and he has asked me to represent him. But before I deliver his message, let me say very clearly that we are not unaware of the difficult times that we as a nation are going through, and the challenges and the headwinds that our economy is facing. But as was indicated earlier, addressing these challenges is a collective responsibility. And these challenges did not arise overnight. They were as a result of cumulative issues over decades that are manifesting in the signs that we see today. And as such, gatherings like this are key, because what they do indicate is the need for collaboration and partnership. We cannot talk about the economy without banking institutions or financial institutions, especially the professionals. And so we are delighted to have the opportunity of this platform to discuss with you how we work together to address the challenges. And I'm also glad that the representatives of the President of Liberia and the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo have also indicated that these challenges are not only unique to Nigeria, and that many other countries in Africa, indeed the entire world, are facing similar challenges. But what it does is that it provides an opportunity for us to rethink how we address these challenges, especially in designing a financial architecture that would allow us to get through the difficulties that we're facing. So let me speak to what the minister has asked me to deliver to you. It gives me a great pleasure to address you today at the 17th Annual Banking and Finance Conference. I extend my gratitude to the organizers for providing me with the opportunity to speak at such a distinguished assembly of professionals. This conference comes at a pivotal moment in our economic journey as nations around the world navigate unprecedented challenges and seize new opportunities. The theme of this conference, accelerated economic growth and development, the state of play and development, resonates with our collective pursuit of economic resilience and advancement. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you may be familiar with the storied history of this institution, which is the CIBN, which is as old as the nation itself. On November 28, 1963, 124 bankers gathered at Rundle Hall, Surulere, and passed a resolution to establish the local center of the Institute of Bankers, London, here in Nigeria. The historic decision was made with the mandate of advancing banking education in our country. As such, our financial services sector owes much of its current stature to the leadership of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. Your institution has set the standard for the knowledge and skills required of banking professionals, while upholding the highest ethical standards and professionalism in the industry. With respect to an update of the first half of this year, comparison between the first half of this year and same time last year, as we reflect on the legacy of the Institute and the pivotal role that it has played in shaping our financial landscape, it is crucial to acknowledge the progress we have made as a nation. While we may face ongoing challenges, there are promising signs of progress. Economic growth, as measured by our nation's GDP, has shown improvement. The Vice President earlier on in his speech did indicate that. Rising from 3% in the first quarter to 3.2% in the second quarter of this year. Our commitment to continued reforms aims to achieve a 3.7 growth target by year-end. Sector-specific developments are also contributing to our economic progress. The oil and gas sector saw a notable increase of 10% during the second quarter and a significant rebound from the contraction experienced in the same period last year. In addition, the non-oil sector has maintained a steady growth rate of 2.8% compared to both the previous year and earlier in the current year. Nevertheless, we are acutely aware of the recent economic shocks affecting specific areas, particularly the transportation sector. The wholesale and retail trade sector, as well as manufacturing, have experienced slower growth. In response, we are implementing measures to support the movement of goods and reduce production costs. This includes plans to enhance PMS supply by 25 million liters starting in September through the Dangote refinery, as well as the procurement of 600 biofuel buses, 23,000 CNG conversion kits and cylinders, 6,000 CNG fuel tricycles, and 100 electric buses. Again, this is just part of the pilot to start to address these challenges that we're facing with respect to transportation costs. Notably, using CNG vehicle fueling can save up to 2/3 of the cost compared to diesel or PMS. Additionally, the financial sector continues to demonstrate resilience, rebounding strongly from the contractions observed in 2021. The sector has grown by over 30% during the first half of this year, further bolstering our overall economic stability. On the fiscal point, government revenues are also on the rise. The administration is committed to ensuring that revenue generation meets or exceeds the target set. Such progress will enable us to make essential social and capital investments that positively impact both the economy and its citizens. We are encouraged to see that our efforts are yielding results. Aggregate federal government revenue for the first half of 2024 reached 9.1 trillion naira, more than double that of the same period in 2023. This substantial increase reflects the success of our revenue collection reforms and the effective use of technology. Additionally, oil revenue as a percentage of gross revenue has risen to 30% from 11% in the first half of 2023. Non-oil revenue also surpassed that of the previous year by 30% and exceeded budget expectations, highlighting our progress in revenue diversification. Tax reforms are driving efficiency. Please note that there has not been any increase in taxes to date. On debt servicing, the total debt service declined from 97% of revenue in the first half of 2023 to 68% of revenue in 2024. While that is above budget, it is headed in the right direction. And as the revenue effort strengthens, so too the ratios will improve. In parallel, we are encouraged by the progress in controlling inflation through the well-coordinated fiscal and monetary policies. The consumer price index growth rate eased from 34% in June to 33% in July. Despite this progress, our primary challenge remains addressing the sharp increases in food prices. To tackle this issue, several government initiatives are on the way to boost food supply and curb food inflation. These initiatives include a strategic import program, the release of grains, and a concerted effort at the local, state, and national levels to enhance food production, even in the face of challenges such as insecurity in some regions. Ongoing reforms. We anticipated that the necessary macro reforms will stress the economy, particularly given our fiscal position and foreign exchange reserves. Business as usual was unsustainable, prompting us to implement reforms aimed at signaling to the private sector to invest. Although it is regrettable to see divestments of established companies such as GSK, we are hopeful that these changes will lay the foundation for a new economic era in Nigeria. We are already witnessing early signs of this transformation. Companies such as Right Foods, producers of Biggie drinks, are stepping up, and significant transactions in the oil and gas sector highlight renewed investor confidence. One of such is Sepla's acquisition of ExxonMobil's offshore shallow water assets for $1.2 billion, and Equinor's sale of its stake to Chaparral, which acquired a 20% interest in Chevron-operated Agbami. This demonstrates a growing dynamism in our economy. These developments are encouraging and point towards a more robust economic future. As we advance these reforms, we have begun implementing the Accelerated Stabilization and Actualization Plan. This plan aims to boost the electricity supply through the grid from approximately 4.5 gigawatts to 6 gigawatts by the end of this year. We aim to increase oil production to 2 million barrels per day and continue removing barriers to investments in the sector to improve its competitiveness. To further enhance our agriculture sector, our focus is to increase staple crops production by smallholder farmers from 127 million metric tons in 2023 to 135 metric tons this year. This will be achieved through the provision of essential fertilizers and seeds and by fostering partnerships with larger-scale commercial farmers. Such measures are designed to bolster agricultural productivity and improve food security, which is an essential aspect of the Renew Hope mandate. In addition, we are committed to improving healthcare access by making essential medicines available at lower costs for 80 to 90 million Nigerians, while expanding healthcare insurance coverage for 1 million vulnerable people via a vulnerable group fund in collaboration with state governments. Finally, we are looking to support new and existing youth-owned enterprises across the 36 states of the Federation, creating 7,400 micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises within the next 6 to 12 months. And we have developed a manufacturing stabilization fund to rejuvenate up to 250 companies, delivering lower costs, that is 9 to 11% long-term facilities to large, medium-scale, and light manufacturers that produce finished goods for domestic consumption and export. These initiatives are crucial for fostering sustainable economic development and creating opportunities for growth across various sectors. What are our future commitments? We will also continue to make strides towards improving energy availability. Power generation increased to 5.3 gigawatts, a milestone not achieved in the past 3 years. To sustain and build upon this progress, we will continue to collaborate with international financial institutions and development partners to unlock the necessary investments. This will support continued advancements in productivity and ensure a reliable energy supply for the future. We will continue to improve PMS supply, including 25 million liters of PMS. Mr. President has strengthened coordination via the Presidential Food Systems Coordinating Unit, and all hands are on deck to boost productivity by providing subsidized fertilizer and seeds to smallholder farmers, working with both states and development partners on multiple initiatives. What are some of those partnership opportunities? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our development needs are significant, and we must explore more cost-effective financing options to address them. We have also proven that our financial markets are advanced enough to support some of these initiatives. Earlier this month, we issued a $500 million bond to finance critical programs across the economy. Additionally, we are developing a housing initiative in collaboration with financial institutional investors to unlock long-term, low-cost mortgages at rates that will be significantly below MPR. Our goal is to generate $10 billion in mortgage assets over the next 5 years by using creative blended financing tools. Furthermore, we are working on a nationwide student housing program targeting 24 tertiary institutions across all geopolitical zones in partnership with Family Homes Funds. In line with our commitment to sustainable development, we are launching a Green Growth Office. This office will integrate our climate objectives with government's short-term priorities, including Mr. President's mandated 8-point agenda to create a coherent and sustainable growth plan. The office will serve as a central coordination point for climate investments, funding, data collection, and tracking of progress towards decarbonization targets. Additionally, we are striving to improving financial inclusion. Formal financial inclusion has grown significantly from 56% in 2020 to 64% in 2023, driven by both an increase in the banked population and notable advances in non-bank formal adoption. In conclusion, as we continue to make substantial progress, it becomes increasingly clear that partnerships with institutions like the CIBN are crucial for mobilizing the scale of financing needed to achieve our developmental goals. We are enthusiastic about working together to advance our shared goals and achieve impactful outcomes for Nigerians. Thank you for your time, and we wish you a very successful conference. Thank you very much.